Aloha, this is Heidi at Easy Peasy. This video is going to be a comparison review of multiple natural newborn all-in-one cloth diapers. My son just turned 3 months old, so we were just recently using newborn cloth diapers. All of these brands included in this video are made in the USA. We'll be looking at the Smart Bottoms Born Smart 2.0, the Thirsties Newborn Natural with hook and loop closure, and also the Thirsties Newborn Natural with snap closure, and the Blueberry Simplex Organic Newborn All-in-One. I will also be doing comparison reviews of newborn fitted diapers and newborn wool diaper covers. So if you're planning to cloth diaper a newborn baby, please subscribe. And if at any point during this video you find it helpful, give it a thumbs up. Let's start with a size comparison. Going from smallest to largest, the Smart Bottoms Born Smart 2.0 will fit on the smallest baby. This one is teeny tiny little diaper. Next up, the Thirsties Natural Newborn All-in-One with the hook and loop closure fit the smallest, especially around the legs. Those can get really tight on this diaper. And then next is the Thirsties Newborn Natural but with the snap closure. This one actually fit my baby for quite a bit longer than the hook and loop one did. The elastic around the legs just seemed more forgiving, not as snug on the snap version. But then the one that fit the biggest, which started out a little loose on my baby around the legs, but fit on him for the longest out of all these, is the Blueberry Simplex Organic. He outgrew all of these by 11 weeks old and 12.5 pounds. If you want to see exactly how all of these diapers fit on my baby, you can watch my separate video where I showed him wearing each of these. Now, as far as the umbilical cord stump, this one has a cutout and it sat nicely below the umbilical cord stump right from day one. With this one, there's nothing to bring it down below, and so this was the one that came the closest to rubbing, but all of these we were able to use from birth. This Thirsties one has an umbilical cord snap down, but it doesn't really seem to pull the fabric down very much. So you can see this snap down here, but it doesn't change the diaper all that much, but we were able to use that with the umbilical cord stump as well. And I think the one with the best snap down that really kind of brings this section down is the Blueberry diaper. The Smart Bottoms we were able to use for the least amount of time because it was just so tight on the legs. We didn't get very many days use out of that. The two we were able to use the longest were both the Thirsties with the snap closure and also the Blueberry Simplex. Let's open these up so we can take a closer look at the snaps and how they look inside. For the Smart Bottoms, they have these 2 snaps. I generally like these on diapers so that you can adjust the waist and the leg band separately. However, on this one, even putting the leg setting on the loosest setting, it was still really tight around the legs. It also has options to snap up the rise to make it a shorter rise. So there are 2 different settings for that. You can make it the tightest here, or completely unsnapped. This is what the inside looks like. There's a tongue of absorbency. This is made in the USA. The fiber content is 55% hemp viscose, 45% organic cotton, and then 100% PUL polyester for the outside. Absorbency wise, this was fine, but again, we just used it for a very short time. So as my son got older and was peeing more, we weren't really using this newborn diaper anymore. This one's more simple since it has the hook and loop closure, but it does have 1 set of rise snaps here to shorten the rise a little bit. There's no snap down or dip for the umbilical cord though, so it's just gonna depend on your particular baby if adjusting this rise is enough to keep it below the umbilical cord, or if you're gonna have to wait to use it. We were able to use it right away, but it just came closer to the umbilical cord stump area than any of the others. This is the only all-in-one that I used with the hook and loop closure. I thought it would be convenient, but I ended up not really liking the hook and loop so much, just because I felt like even when I had it as loose as possible around the waist, I was still getting a tight fit on the legs. I just didn't like the fit of the hook and loop as much as I liked the snap version of the Thirsties. Also, since I only had one hook and loop diaper, it was kind of annoying to have to remember to Velcro these before going into the wash. I could see if your whole stash was hook and loop, you'd just be used to it, but having just one random hook and loop in there, it's easier to forget. There's 2 tongues of absorbency and a little bit of absorbency on the main portion as well. Again, Thirsties are made in the USA. The outer is 100% polyester with waterproof TPU laminate. The inner body is 100% organic cotton, and the inserts are 55% hemp, 45% organic cotton. My baby did outgrow the absorbency while still using these, so we were adding a small hemp cotton doubler from Green Mountain Diapers and putting the doubler here, and then with that it was enough absorbency. It's a little more complicated on the snap version of the Thirsties, so you do have this umbilical cord snap down. And then you also have 1 set of rise snaps here as well. For the waist, there's just 1 snap on each wing, and I normally like 2 snaps to adjust the waist and the legs separately, but this diaper I actually really liked the fit of it. No matter where I was snapping the waist, it was still comfortable around his legs, and these are really nice and stretchy because of the elastic, so it always felt comfortable to pull that around on him. Plus 1 snap made for really easy diaper changes at night. Inside, again, similar setup since this is also by Thirsties, 2 tongues of absorbency, and the same, the polyester TPU outer, the body absorbency 100% organic cotton, and the inserts 55% hemp and 45% organic cotton. Right now when I'm showing these to you, I am noticing some edge wear here. That can happen more easily with natural fibers, like 100% cotton. And these went through a lot of washes. In the early newborn stage, I was washing our cloth diapers daily. So he was wearing these all-in-ones every night and I was washing them every day. So they did get some wear and tear on them already. Now for the Blueberry Simplex Organic, it has the nice umbilical cord snap down here. I do really like the 2 snaps here to adjust the legs and the waist separately. I thought originally that we were going to get more use out of this than we did because he did start out at the very tightest setting, but he outgrew this sooner than the suggested weight range. I think it says it might fit babies up to 16 pounds, but it just depends on the proportions of your baby. If they're long, lean, tall, if they're more short and stubby, it's not going to be exactly the weight range that the manufacturer suggests. Inside, this material is a lot like a pre-fold, which I really like about that. It's 100% organic cotton, and then this is somewhat like a pocket diaper as well because the tongue you stick into the pocket. So this one, the outer fabric is 100% polyester, the inner is 100% organic cotton. One thing I didn't like about this diaper is once you wash and dry it, this tongue gets kind of all folded out of shape. I almost wished I had an iron. I don't, or I would have ironed this flat because after multiple uses, when it's all kind of bunched up like that, then if you tuck it in, it just wasn't laying very flat and smooth. The absorbency on this one was enough for us the whole time we were using it, so we never had to, but if we wanted to, we could have added some kind of doubler for extra absorbency into the pocket. But I'd say the absorbency on this was much better. We weren't getting leaks with this the way we got after a while with the Thirsties. As far as which one was the most comfortable, I think the Blueberry Simplex Organic was. I really like the rolled elastic here. At first, these were a little loose around his legs, but even when they were, we never had leaks out of the legs. It's important to make sure all the absorbency is tucked inside if you have these rolled elastics. This did feel the most gentle on his legs. I liked this one on him. I also did like the way this one fit. The Smart Bottoms also has the rolled elastic as well, but just because it's such a small diaper, so tight on the legs, we didn't get to use it very much. So overall, for likes and dislikes, I really like this nice deep umbilical dip here. I think that's probably a better way to do it than having a snap down, because even once they get a little bit older, it's fine if the diaper's still away from their healing belly button. My main dislike on the Smart Bottoms was just it was too small of a diaper for us. My son was born at 6 pounds 14 ounces. I had thought he might be even smaller, and I thought it was a good idea to have a couple really small diapers in our stash, but we definitely did not need that small of a diaper. Might be better on a preemie. For the Thirsties, I'm not a huge fan of the absorbency in here. It just seems like they don't come with enough absorbency built in. Like you kind of know you're gonna need some sort of doubler or booster to go with them. I did like this diaper though. We did get a lot of good use out of this snap version. If I were to do it again, I would skip the hook and loop. I had thought since I do frequent diaper changes that I might really like the convenience of the hook and loop, but between the two, I definitely prefer the snaps. I already mentioned my dislike about that tongue getting folded up. Everything else about the Blueberry one I liked. When I watched comparison reviews before building my newborn stash, I thought my favorite would probably be the Blueberry, and it definitely is. This is the only one that I bought additional ones after he was born, so this is one I bought once baby was already here. The other ones, I didn't feel the need to buy any more of the Thirsties or the Smart Bottoms. So my overall favorite, the Natural Newborn All-in-One Cloth Diaper that I would recommend, is the Blueberry. Again, it's personal preference. You may not like this pre-fold type material in here. You may prefer this type. I think for me also, I just prefer things that come in this more natural color that don't look as bleached white. I think over time this has become more faded and white. To me, I really like that this is practically a pre-fold inside a cover. The only difference is that they're sewn together. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that helped to give you a better idea of which all-in-one diapers you might want to consider including in your newborn cloth diaper stash. Please subscribe for more on elimination communication and natural cloth diapering.